Crime films, perfume and television.
I'll try television, please.
Television for you. Right, 40 seconds to try and set up 4 in a row on television. And the time starts now. Which programme has been hosted by Sir Robin Day, Peter Sissons and David Dimbleby?
Question time.
That's correct. Which series written by Kay Mellor centres on a group of slimmers?
Fat Friends.
That's correct. Which 60s TV pop show was presented by Cathy McGowan and Keith Fordyce?
Billy Steady Go.
That's correct. The American TV series Angel is a spin-off of which cult series?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's correct, and you've set up 4 in a row. Well done. So you do nothing but sit at home and watch television and call yourself a sub-editor. Right, David, so that's well done. That's 4 to you. Ian, our champion, your turn in the spotlight, please. So, Ian, if you get 3 or 4, you're guaranteed a place in the final with David. We'll see how you do. You've only got 2 categories to choose from, though. They're crime films and perfume.
It'll have to be crime films, I think. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Crime films for you. You have 40 seconds then on crime films. And the time starts now. Spandau Ballet's Kemp brothers portrayed which villainous twins on screen?
Craze.
That's correct. Which Oscar-winning film of 1972 spawned sequels in 1974 and 1990?
Godfather.
That's correct. Who played the title role in the 30s gangster movie Little Caesar?
James Cagney.
No, Edward G. Robinson. Strangers on a Train is based on a novel by which crime writer?
Don't know.
Patricia Highsmith. Which of the Monty Python team played Archie Leach in A Fish Called Wanda?
John Cleese.
That's correct. Which Hollywood actress starred in the 1966 film How to Steal a Million?
Don't know.
Audrey Hepburn. Which 1992 movie featured the characters Mr. Pink, Mr. Orange and Mr. White?
Taking a Pill on 1, 2, 3.
No, Reservoir Dogs. Which actress co-starred with Steve McQueen in The Getaway? It was Ali MacGraw, and you've set up 2 in a row. Thank you, Ian. So we look at the scores. We see James has 2, David has 4, Ian has 2. David, this means you're guaranteed your place in the final, but we have to have a tie-break between James and Ian. The way we play this is I'll ask a series of general knowledge questions, each one of which is worth 1 point. The first one of you to score 2 points will go through to the head-to-head final with David. So clear the scores, please. Hands on buzzers. Here we go. What am I? I'm a unit of measurement whose name is derived from Arabic meaning seed. Originally the weight of a carob seed. Ian.
Troy.
That's incorrect, so I can finish the question. Originally the weight of a carob seed, I'm used to measure the weight of precious stones, and I'm also the unit of purity. James?
Carrot.
Carrot is correct. 1 point to you. Here's the next question. What am I? I'm a fruit grown on a tree which, after the apple tree, is the world's second most commercially important. Grown in both hemispheres, my flesh is generally softer and sweeter than that of the apple. My most popular varieties include Comus, Williams and Conference. Ian?
Pear.
Pear is correct. 1 point to you. This may be the one that decides it. Here we go. What am I? I am the branch of learning concerned with ancient ruins and the study of the material... David? Sorry, James?
Archaeology.
Archaeology is correct. You've done it. Sorry for calling you David there, gave you a heart attack. So, Ian, I'm sorry, we know what this means. You're our champion. We've lost you. But you have got £200 anyway from the last show, and you also have a one-to-win document bag. So thanks very much indeed for taking
Thank you.
So the head-to-head final today is going to be between James Brilliant, who's a student from Canterbury, and David Crozier, who's a sub-editor from St Albans in Herts. Join us after the break to find out who's going to be today's one to win. Welcome back to One to Win. You're in time for the head-to-head, which is not between the champion and somebody else. It's between 2 new contestants. They are David Crozier, who's a sub-editor from St Albans in Hertfordshire, and James Brilliant, who's a student from Canterbury. The first one of you two to score 21 points will be today's one to win. Right, each question in this round starts off being worth 5 points, but as time progresses, it's worth less and less. So the sooner you can buzz in, the better. It sounds simple, but there's a catch. Only one of you can buzz in at any one time. Right, David, you were first into this round, so you can be the first to choose whether to play or pass. The category is pop music.
I'll play, please.
You're going to play. That means control begins with you, so for the first part of the question, only you can buzz in. If you don't buzz in, or if you do and you get the answer wrong, control moves over to James. And James, the same applies to you. If you don't buzz in, or you do and you get the answer wrong, it goes back to David and so on, backwards and forwards. So, good luck to you both. A reminder that control is with David and the subject is pop music. The time starts Now, I Am a Song, which between 1969 and 1996 has entered the UK charts in versions recorded by 5 different performers. 3 of those acts have made the top 10. Co-written by Canadian singer-songwriter Paul Anka, who has never had a UK hit singing me, David?
My Way?
My Way is correct, yes. That's 3 points to you. So, James, you can choose to play or pass on Animals.
Pause, please.
You're passing control over to David, and the time starts. Now, I'm a type of dog, believed by some to be the oldest of all breeds. Standing about 18 inches high, David?
A Chihuahua?
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to James. The time continues now. I have a compact build and a large head. My thick coat, which is evenly coloured in any of various shades, forms a thick ruff about my neck. My tail curls over my back, and I have a unique blue-black... James?
Spaniel.
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to David. The time continues now. Tongue. Originating in China, my name derives... David?
Chow.
That's correct. The chow or chow chow. So you go up to 4. James, you have to score still. You can choose play or pass on food and drink.
Pause.
You're passing control to David, therefore. It's food and drink, and the time starts now. I am a sweetened product, edible in the widest sense of the word. Traditionally made from chicle, since World War II, various waxes, plastics and resins have also been used for me. I'm very popular in America, and mint is the favourite among a wide variety of my flavours. I am chewed also... James?
Gum.
Yes, chewing gum, right. You go up to 2. So it's islands now, James.
Pause.
You're passing control over to David, and the time starts now. I am a republic consisting of a chain of over 1,000 islands. These are grouped into 19 atolls protected by coral reefs. Formerly a British protectorate, I became independent under the rule of a sultan in... James?
Brunei.
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to David. The time continues now. In 1965, and I'm now governed... David?
The Maldives?
That's correct, yes, the Maldives. You go to 7. So, James, still on 2. You can choose play or pass, clothes and fashion.
Pause, please.
Passing control to David, and the time starts now. I was born in Italy in 1935. In the mid-1970s, I set up my own... David?
Armani?
Yes, absolutely right. Well done. Giorgio Armani, very fast. Takes you to 12. James, on 2. Play or pass, please, on plants.
Pause, please.
You're passing control to David. It's plants, and the time starts now. I am produced by an annual leguminous plant native to South America and which is now widely cultivated. After flowering, the flower stalks bend and force the pods... James?
Banana.
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to David. The time continues now. Into the earth to ripen underground. Rich in protein, I also yield a valuable edible oil. The basis of many processed foods. I am often simply roasted. James?
Soya.
That's incorrect. Control moves over to David. The time continues now. And salted as a snack. Sometimes known as the monkey, or ground nut, I am the peanuts. Right, no points to anybody there. James on 2. You can choose play or pass. Famous women.
Play, please.
You're going to play, so control begins with you, and the time starts now. I am a winner of the prestigious Richard Dimbleby Award. Born in 1945, I graduated from Newcastle University with a degree in Scandinavian Studies. After working in radio as a technician and producer, I moved into local TV. I made my debut on the BBC National News in 1979 and became chief news correspondent 10 years later. Noted for my cool... Time is up. Kate Adie. OK, James, mythology, play or pass?
Play, please.
You're going to play, so control begins with you. The time starts now. In Greek and Roman mythology, I was originally a god of fruitfulness and vegetation, the son of Semele and Zeus. James?
Dionysus.
Yes, absolutely right. Well done. You go to 7 against David's 12, so you can still choose, James, play or pass. Hollywood greats.
Pause, please.
You're passing control to David. The time begins now. I am an actress, born in New York in 1924. Famed for my tough image and distinctive voice, I made my first film in 1944 at the age of 19. I appeared in several hit films of the 40s, including To Have and Have Not, The Big Sleep, and... David?
Betty Davis?
That's incorrect. Control moves over to James. The time continues now. And Key Largo. I formed a famous on-screen partnership with Humphrey Bogart, who became my husband. Known to my... David?
Lauren Bacall.
Lauren Bacall. It had to be. Yes, you go to 13. Only get 1 point for that. So late in the question. Right, James, you're on 7. You can choose play or pass on rivers.
Pass, please.
You're passing control to David, and the time starts now. I am one of the longest rivers in North America. I am 2,000 miles long and rise in British Columbia. David?
The Hudson?
That's incorrect. Control moves over to James. The time continues now. I flow northwards through a territory that bears my name before entering Alaska. I empty into the Bering Sea. A navigable river, I was the principal transportation route during the early mining days and the Klondike Gold Rush. I take my name from a native word for great river. David?
Yukon?
Yukon is right, yes. So you go to 14. James on 7. Play or pass on television.
Pass, please.
You're passing control to David, and the time starts now. I am one of Britain's most popular action programmes. Most episodes were based around two men. One, an ex-East End cop, the other an ex-SAS soldier who worked for an anti-terrorist unit dealing with terrorists, assassins or bombers. David?
The Professionals.
The Professionals is right, so you go to 17. James on 7. You can choose. Play or pass, British history.
Play.
You're going to play. Control begins with you, and the time starts now. I am a conspiracy of zealous Catholics against King James I. Robert Catesby and others rented a cellar. James?
The Guy Fawkes plot.
No, I can't accept that. Control moves over to David, and the time continues now. Rented a cellar which extended... David?
The Gunpowder Plot.
The Gunpowder Plot was what I was looking for, and that's it. You're today's one to win. Well done. Ooh, James, that was so close, wasn't it, there, to that answer? But there it is. I can only accept what's on the card, I'm afraid. But it was so close. Anyway, you have a very good runners-up consolation prize. It's the Microsoft Encarta Reference Suite 2000, complete with an encyclopedia, a world atlas, and the Encarta World English Dictionary. Thank you very much indeed for taking part.
Thank you.
So, David, you're our new champion. You've just won yourself £200. Would you like to defend your title by coming back on the next programme?
Yes, please.
Good. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you then. And we hope to see you as well on the next edition of One to Win. I'm Robin Houston. Goodbye.
Really, only one team can win.
Hello and welcome to another edition of One to Win. We have a new champion, so it's day 2 for him. He's already won £200, and we have 3 other players who are going to try and stop him winning any more money. So let's meet our players. And we start with our new champion. He's David Crozier, a sub-editor from St Albans in Hertfordshire. You're very welcome again, David. You do quite a bit of writing. We heard about a novel, and you weren't going to tell us the title of it, and you told me later it's because you couldn't remember the title. You also write pantomimes, I hear.
I wrote 2, yes, for a school when I lived in Cambridgeshire.
Right.
And it was a bit of a case of me and my big mouth, really, because I was saying to somebody how I'd love to write one, and little did I know that they were into amateur dramatics and needed one, so I've talked myself into it. But it was good fun.
All the worst jokes you've ever heard.
Absolutely. Oh, it was dreadful. It was awful. I don't know how they had the nerve to do it, really, but...
Oh, well.
In fact, there was one point during the show when the pantomime dame pointed at me in the audience and actually said, you know, don't blame us, we're just acting it. It was him that wrote it. So it was a good thing to do.
Good fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I hope this is good fun for you.
Thank you.
And good luck today, David. And let's have a look at the other competitors. Number 2 is Liz Hampson. She's a student from Hammersmith in London. What are you studying, Liz?
I finished studying now.
Have you really? Right, so you're no longer a student.
No, I work for a book publisher.
Oh, right.
In central London.
And what do you do to relax?
I do all sorts of swimming, aerobics, but yoga.
Yoga,
which is very relaxing.
Very relaxing. That's the point of it, really, isn't it?
Well, yes. Yes.
Good. Oh, well, I hope you're relaxed now.
Yes, thank you.
If not, you can assume the lotus position down there, in the middle of everything. Good luck to you. Helen Smith is the next one up, self-employed from South Milton in Devon. What do you employ yourself as, Helen?
Mostly bookkeeping for an agricultural contractor.
And you must need relaxation from that. What do you do?
Mostly gardening, crosswords, crosswords,
Crosswords.
quizzes, DIY.
Singing?
Singing, yes.
Yes, it says here you do singing.
I do, yes.
For the South Molton Choral and Operatic Society.
That's right.
Sounds very grand. What was your last show?
Our last show, we did a medley of songs from various shows.
Very good. OK, well, good luck to you, Helen. And last but not least is Philip Cowley, a post-A-level student from Dudley in West Midlands. You're a film fan, Philip.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Michael Caine and Zulu and The Italian Job especially, because they're both good films, as well as Michael Caine, who's a very funny actor, especially when he's trying not to be.
So he's your favourite, then?
Yes, certainly.
More than anything else. And what do you hope to do in life?
I've just started a law degree at Cardiff University, so
You're going
got
to be a lawyer?
3 years there, and I've no idea, to be honest.
OK, we keep busy anyway. That's the main thing. Good luck to you. Thanks. Good luck to you all. We know who you are. We know why we're here. Let's play One to Win. The first round is, as always, called Beat the Buzzer. The aim is to score 9 points, and the first 3 of our contestants to score 9 points will be going through into the next round. We have some category questions, which are worth 1, 2 or 3 points, depending on their difficulty, and we have some general knowledge questions, which are worth just 1 point as we go through. A warning that if you think you know the answer to a question, you buzz in early, which you're quite entitled to do, and you get the answer wrong, you'll be locked out until the end of that particular question, and you won't be able to buzz in again on that one. That's all there is to it, really. So good luck to you. Hands on buzzers. We're going to start with a general knowledge question for 1 point. The natives of which American city can be referred to as Angelinos? David?
Los Angeles.
That's absolutely right. Well done. That's 1 point to you. So we're up and running, and the first category is the movies, David. 1, 2 or 3 point
Let's
question.
try 2.
A 2 point question on the movies. Who co-starred with Gina Davis in the hit film Thelma and Louise? Liz?
Susan Sarandon.
You're absolutely right. That's 2 points to you. Well done. So, sport. Now, Liz, 1, 2 or 3?
2, please.
2 on sport. Which British golfer won the 2000 World Match Play Championships at Wentworth? Helen?
To Tiger Woods?
No, that's incorrect. Anybody else? Philip?
Lee Westwood?
Yes, you're right. 2 points to you. Takes you up to 2. So, clothes and fashion now, Philip.
Just 1, please.
1 on clothes and fashion. Made of felt, what type of garment is a Homburg? Helen?
A hat.
It is a hat. That's 1 point. Books and authors, Helen.
2, please.
2 on books and authors. Which former SAS man wrote the thrillers Remote Control and, Philip?
Andy McNabb.
Yes, indeed. He also wrote Crisis 4. That's 2 to you. You go up to 4. Food and drink.
1 point, please.
1 on food and drink. In French cuisine, what part of the frog is edible? Liz?
Legs.
The legs, yes, minus the feet. Takes you up to 3. Wouldn't want to eat the feet, wouldn't want to eat the legs, actually. Pop music, 1, 2 or 3?
Let's try 3.
3 on pop music, right. The Fat of the Land and Music for the... Oh, Liz.
The Prodigy.
Yes, absolutely right. Music for the Jilted Generations. That takes you up to 6. Well done. Islands.
2.
2 on islands. Lying south of Elba, the island of Monte Cristo is part of which European country? David?
Italy.
Yes, you're right. 2 points, you go up to 3. And we turn to classical music.
I try 3.
All right, classical music, a 3 point question. Which composer included amongst his works the 3-movement Karelia suite? Sweet. Sorry. Helen?
Sibelius.
Sibelius. Back to clothes and fashion. Right, that takes you up to 4. Helen? Television, 1, 2 or 3?
2, please.
2 on television. On which satirical quiz show did a tub of lard once appear, David?
Have I got news for you?
Yes, indeed, it appeared as a special guest. That's 2 point questions, you got to 5. The British Isles.
I'll try 2, please.
2 on the British Isles. Which town in Oxfordshire is associated with the nursery rhyme Rider Cock... Helen?
Banbury.
Yes, Rider Cock Horse. Yes, you got to 6. Explorers.
1, please.
1 point question on explorers. What was the nationality of the Antarctic explorer? Liz?
Norwegian.
Yes, well done. Well anticipated. I was going to say Roald Amundsen, but you Forestalled me. You go up to 7. Cities.
2.
2 on cities. Which city is the capital of the Australian state of Victoria? Helen.
Melbourne.
Yes, you're right. 2 points. You go up to 8. European history.
2, please.
2 on European history. Which foreign leader was referred to as Uncle Joe by Britain during the... Helen?
Stalin.
You're absolutely right. Joseph Stalin. You're through to the next round. Well done. So we'll recap the scores. At this stage, we see that our champion, David, is on 5, Liz is on 7, and Philip is on 4. General knowledge for 1 point. Which word may be used in front of garden, research, and value to form 3 different terms? Liz?
Market.
Yes, it's market. You go up to 8. You were a bit uncertain, but
Yes.
you were right. Medicine and health.
I'll try 2.
2. This would easily get you through if you got it. Obtained from the foxglove, digitalis is a drug used to stimulate which human organ? Liz?
Heart.
The heart is right. You're through to the next round. Well done. So we have 2 contestants left. Only one of them can go through to the next round. It's the champion, David, who's on 5, and Philip, who's on 4. General knowledge for 1 point. Which oil is said to be burning if one works late into the... Philip?
The midnight oil.
The midnight oil, late into the night. Yes, you go to 5, so it's 5 all now. Business and industry, Philip.
2, please.
2 on business and industry. Zoom, wide angle, and telephoto. David?
Lenses.
They are lenses, yes. So you go to 7. Myths and legends.
Try 2, please.
2 on myths and legends. In Greek mythology, Iris was the goddess of which multicoloured natural phenomenon? David?
Rainbow.
The rainbow's right. You're through to the next round. Bad luck, Philip. For a moment there, I thought you were going to zoom on through, but only 3 can go through to the next round. You have a 1-to-win document bag to take away.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for taking part. Time for round 2. It's called In the Spotlight. So here we are in the spotlight. I was a bit worried about David, our champion there. I thought for a moment he wasn't going to get through. Were you a bit worried, David?
I was, yes.
Oh, well, you just did it. Well done. Right now, the point of the In the Spotlight round is competitors compete against the clock rather than against each other. Although they do compete against each other indirectly, I suppose. And the first one into this round is always the first one in the spotlight. So, Helen, you're first in the spotlight, please. Now, the rules for this round, Helen, are you have to try and set up 4 correct answers in a row within 40 seconds. If you do it within the time, that's fine. We'll stop the clock. If you get an answer wrong, the counter goes back to 0, and you have to try and build up again towards 4. Some people do it, some people don't. We credit you with the highest number you did manage to get in a row. The advantage of being first in is you get the choice from 4 categories. Let's see what they are today. They are North American geography, world cinema, 1990s music, and famous animals.
Famous animals, please.
Famous animals, right. So you have 40 seconds to try and set up 4 correct answers in a row on famous animals, and your time starts now. What breed of dog is Charlie Brown's pet Snoopy?
A beagle.
That's correct. What animals were the so-called Tamworth 2 who escaped from a slaughterhouse in 1998? Correct. Top of the Monkey appeared on which children's show from the 70s?
No, I don't know.
Pipkins. On which horse was Anne Moore, twice European show jumping champion in the early 70s?
No.
Psalm. Which author wrote about the tale of Jeremy Fisher?
Beatrix Potter.
That's correct. What was the name of the pet dinosaur owned by Fred and Wilma Flintstone?
I can't remember.
Dino. Which Downing Street cat was retired from public life after Tony Blair came to power?
I can't remember that either.
Humphrey. Voiced by Peter Bain. Oh, time is up. You set up 2 in a row. Thank you very much. Famous animals, obviously, some of the animals weren't that famous. So that's 2 points to Helen. So, Liz, your turn, please, in the spotlight. OK, Liz, the same rules apply to you. You have to try and set up 4 correct answers in a row within 40 seconds. You've got 3 categories to go from because famous animals have run out of the studio. North American geography, world cinema, and 1990s music.
1990s music.
All right, pretty confident. Straight in there. You've made your choice in advance, eh? OK, so you have 40 seconds to try and set up 4 correct answers in a row on 1990s music, and your time starts now. The family band The Cause come from which country?
Ireland.
That's correct. Which Dutch city provided the title of a pop hit for the beautiful South?
Amsterdam.
No, Rotterdam. The bass line to Vanilla Ice's hit Ice Ice Baby was borrowed from which hit for Queen?
Under Pressure.
That's correct. The Female of the Species was a hit for which Liverpool band?
Space.
That's correct. A remix version of which Gloria Gaynor's 70s song reached the top
I Will
5?
Survive.
That's correct. Chocolate Salty Balls was sung from Chef from which animated show?
South Park.
That's correct. Oh, that's 4 in a row. Well done. Thank you. So you got 4 in a row, even having got one wrong, Amsterdam rather than Rotterdam. Right, David, your turn in the spotlight, please. So, David, you're a champion. You've been here before. You get 3 or 4, you're guaranteed a place in the head-to-head final. You've only got 2 categories to choose from. North American Geography and World Cinema.
World Cinema, I
I
think.
knew you were going for that. Right. So, 40 seconds to try and set up 3 or 4, even better, in a row on World Cinema, and the time starts now. What Italian food product is used to collectively describe Sergio Leone's 60s westerns?
Spaghetti.
That's correct. In an Australian film, which silver bus was proclaimed Queen of the Desert?
Priscilla.
That's correct. Who was the Swedish director of Autumn Sonata and Fanny and Alexander?
Bergman.
Correct. Which Spanish actress played newsreader Rebecca in the film High Heels?
No, I don't know.
Victoria Abril. Which 20th century war formed the backdrop to the film The Deer Hunter?
The Vietnam War.
That's correct. In which country was actress Isabella Gianni born?
Greece.
No, France. At which city's International Film Festival are Golden Bears awarded?
Cannes.
No, Berlin. Which American comedian starred in Planes, Trains and Automobiles? It was Steve Martin.
Martin.
You don't have to answer that if you knew it anyway. 3 in a row. Thank you very much, David. So we'll recap the scores. We see Helen is on 2, Liz is on 4, and David's on 3. So, Helen, we know what this means. I'm
Yes, I
afraid.
do.
Yeah, we have to say goodbye to you. But you have a one-to-win document bag to take away. Thank you very much indeed for
Thank
taking
you.
part.
Thank you.
So, our head-to-head final today is going to be between new challenger Liz Hampson, who is a student from, no, she's no longer a student, working in publishing, Hammersmith in London, and David Crozier, who's our champion. He's a sub-editor from St Albans in Herts. Join us after the break to find out who's going to be today's one to win. Welcome back to One to Win and the head-to-head final, which today is between challenger Liz Hampson, who works in publishing in Hammersmith in London, and our champion, David Crozier. He's a sub-editor from St Albans in Hertfordshire. Right, the first one of you two to score 21 points will be today's one to win, and will win £200, which can't be bad. Now, each question in this round starts off being worth 5 points, but as it proceeds, it rapidly becomes worth less and less, so the sooner you can buzz in, the better. The catch is, only one person can buzz in at any one time. Now, Liz, you were first in, so you can have first choice whether to play or pass. The category is television.
I'll play.
You're going to play. That means control begins with you, so for the first part of the question, only you can buzz in. If you don't buzz in that time, or if you do and you get the answer wrong, the control moves over to David. David, same applies, as you know. You fail to buzz in, you get the answer wrong, goes back to Liz, and so on, backwards and forwards. So good luck to you both. Here we go. A reminder, it's television. Control is with Liz, and the time starts now. I am an American police detective who first appeared in the 1960s. A one-time chief of detectives for the San Francisco Police Department, I was paralyzed by a sniper's bullet. David.
Ironside.
Yes, indeed. Well done. That's 4 points to you. Do you know his first name? Nobody
No.
ever does. Robert Ironside. Right, Liz. Flowers and plants. You can choose whether to play or pass.
I'll pass.
You're going to pass. You pass control over to David. It's flowers and plants, and the time starts now. I am one of the first plants to bloom in the spring. My large and scented flowers frequently open before the leaves. Ranging from compact shrubs to large trees, I am a hardy plant, but may suffer damage from cold winds or late frosts. My flowers vary in form from upright and vase-shaped to open and star-like, but I have just one layer of petal-like structures called... Oh, time is up. Magnolia is the first one to flower. Right, David's still on 4. Liz has yet to score, so Liz, you can choose to play or pass on scientists.
I'll pass.
You're passing control to David, and the time starts now. I was born in Surrey in 1791. After being apprenticed to a bookbinder, I became Sir Humphrey Davy's assistant at the Royal Institution. Appointed Professor of Chemistry, I was also an experimental physicist. Among my many achievements are the discovery of electromagnetic induction, the laws of electrolysis, and the rotation of polarized light by magnetism. Time is up. My name begins with F. I'm Michael Faraday. I also appear on the back of banknotes. Right. Food and drink, Liz. Play or pass?
I'll play.
You're going to play, so control begins with you and the time starts now. I am a light, sweet, fluffy food, once obtained from an extract of the root of the plant from which I take my name. More recently, I've been made from corn syrup, gelatine, and gum arabic, usually 1.5 inches in diameter. I can be white, pink, or any other pastel colour. I can be eaten on my own, placed in hot chocolate, or toasted.
Marshmallows.
Yes, Liz has got so. Yes, 1 point to you. All 1 point, and David is on 4. So, Liz, you can choose play or pass again on pop music.
I'll play.
You're going to play, right? Control begins with you, and the time starts now. I am a Los Angeles-based band from the 70s and 80s, noted for my flamboyant performances. Led by songwriter and vocalist Maurice White, I appeared in the movie Shining Star. David?
Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yes, you're right. Well done. So that takes you up to 8. Liz, still on 1. You can choose play or pass. Inventors and inventions.
I'll pass.
You're passing control over to David, and the time starts now. I am an electrical item. Attempts were made to make a workable version of me in the 19th century. David?
Computer?
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to Liz, and the time continues now. In 1884, Paul Nipkow, a German scientist, patented a non-electrical system based on a revolving disc. Advances continued into the 20th century. David?
A record player?
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to Liz. The time continues now. And in 1926, John Logie Baird first demonstrated, Liz?
Television.
It had to be television. Yes, John Logie Baird has a lot to answer for. You go up to 3 points, Liz, against David's 8. So, Liz, you can still choose to play or pass. Sport.
Pass.
Passing control to David, and the time starts now. I am a sport that is played on grass by 2 or 4 players, involving 4 balls. David?
I was going to say tennis, but...
You'd have been wrong. So, control moves over to Liz. The time continues now. One player or pair uses the black and blue against the red and yellow. The object is to complete the course by hitting the balls through 6 hoops and finally against a peg. David?
Croquet.
Yes, it's croquet. So you go up to 11. So, Liz, still on 3. You can choose to play or pass. Musical instruments.
I'll play.
You're going to play. Right, so control begins with you, and the time starts now. I am an instrument belonging to a classical orchestra. Originating in the 16th century, I've also made a prominent role in chamber music. My body is usually made from wood and has... David?
A harpsichord?
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to Liz. The time continues now, and has 4 strings to which a bow is applied to make sound. Liz?
Violin.
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to David. The time continues now. I serve as the tenor voice in the stringed instrument family. David?
Cello?
No, that's incorrect. Control moves over to Liz. The time continues now. Larger than a violin, but smaller than a... Liz?
Viola.
Viola, yes, smaller than a cello. Takes you up to 5 against David's 11. So, Liz, you can choose play or pass on cities.
I'll pass, please.
You're passing control to David, and the time starts now. I am an English city on the River Irwell and take my name from the Roman fort that once stood there. In the 19th century, I became the centre of Britain's... Liz?
Manchester.
Manchester's correct, yes. You go up to 9. You can still choose play or pass animals.
I'll play.
You're going to play. Control begins with you, and the time starts now. I am any of a number of poisonous snakes of the family Elapidae. Liz?
Cobra.
You're absolutely right. Well done. Yes, you go to 14. So, David, on 11, you can choose play or pass countries.
Play, please.
You're going to play. Control begins with you, and the time starts now. I am a small principality of Europe that boasts a thriving banking sector and... David?
Monaco?
That's incorrect. Control moves over to Liz. The time continues now. And manufacturing economy. Liz?
Luxembourg.
That's incorrect. Control moves over to David. The time continues now. My mainly Catholic population of 30,000 speaks German as... Liz?
Liechtenstein.
That's right, yes. So you go to 18 against David's 11. David, you can choose play or pass fictional characters.
I'll play, please.
You're going to play. Control begins with you, and the time starts now. I am a character created in 1939 by Bob Kane. In the 1960s, Adam West. David?
Batman.
Batman's right, yes. So you go to 16. You can still choose play or pass the natural world.
I'll pass, please.
You're passing control to Liz, and the time starts now. I'm a geological feature, being any opening in the crust of the Earth from which molten rock, debris, and steam comes. Liz?
Volcano.
Volcano's right, and you're today's one to win. Oh, David, you're our champion. Well, he nearly went out in the first round.
Absolutely.
Let alone this round. But anyway, it was good to get through the second round. You got £200 from the last programme, which is good. And you also have a runners-up consolation prize, which is the Microsoft Encarta Reference Suite 2000, complete with encyclopedia, World Atlas, and an Encarta World English Dictionary. Very good for a sub-editor. You probably got it already. But thank you very much indeed for taking part, David. So, Liz, you're our new champion. You're surprised, aren't you?
I'm completely shocked, yeah. I wasn't
well.
expecting to win.
Oh, well, there you are. You won £200. And if you'd like to come back on the next programme to defend your title, you may do so, will you?
Of course, yes.
Good. Well, we look forward to seeing you there. And if you would like to take part in One to Win, well, you can always write and find out where you run auditions all over the place. But we're actually going to make a point shortly of running some auditions in the universities around the UK. So if you're at university, wait to see what happens. Or write into us. The address is One to Win, P.O. Box 2507, London, W1A 2FH. We'd love to hear from you. And we'd like to see you watching the next programme as well of One to Win. My name's Robin Houston. Goodbye.